Have you ever wondered what all it takes to buy a home? Well, in this video, we'll be going over the steps from beginning to end in the home buying process. Stay tuned. Hi, my name is Rhodes with Team CR Realty, and today we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, the home buying process. This is so that you can be prepared and understand exactly what it's like to buy a home from beginning to end. Step 1, find a lender. You will give them necessary information such as your monthly income, debts, credit score, and a few other finance-related answers. They will collect the paperwork from you like tax returns or W-2s to prove your income and pre-approve you for a certain dollar amount for your home loan. They will also be able to give you a rough estimate of your total monthly mortgage payment as well as how much cash you're going to need in order to close at the end of this process. Step 2, find a realtor. Once you know exactly how much you want to spend, this is the opportunity to reach out to a trusted realtor to help you find what you're looking for in a home. A lot of realtors will sit down with you for a consultation to understand exactly what you need so that they can send you those specific listings on the MLS. And this leads us into our next step. Step 3, start your home search. Your realtor will be able to give you access to the MLS or multiple listing service in your market. What this does is it gives you access to homes as soon as they hit the market. Once you go ahead and find a home that you like on your computer, you'll go ahead and tour it. You can walk the property, get the feel, and see exactly what it's like to be in it in person. Step 4, putting in a purchase offer. Once you find the home that you love, you will need to put in an offer in order to buy the property. This purchase offer is what it sounds like, an offer to buy the seller's home for a certain amount along with the terms that you request. The seller will either say yes, no, or negotiate with you to get an offer that fits both parties the best. Which leads us into the next step. Step 5, the transaction process. This is where all parties in the transaction start to work together in order to make sure the home sells and gets transferred to the new party. Here are those steps in a typical transaction, but keep in mind that not every transaction will follow these steps exactly. First in the transaction process is earnest money. Within 2 business days, you will go ahead and put down your earnest money deposit, which is a good faith refundable deposit in the beginning. This is due within 2 business days. It's usually 1 to 2% of the transaction, and an example of a $500,000 house, that will be between $5,000 and $10,000. This $5,000 to $10,000 will be credited towards your closing costs at the end. So on the example of a $500,000 house, you put $5,000 as your earnest money deposit. That will be credited towards your down payment of $50,000. Therefore, only $45,000 will be your remaining down payment to put towards the house. The next step is going to be the BINSR, or the buyer inspection notice and seller response. Once the buyer gets their inspection report back, they will be able to ask the seller to either fix things or accept the premise as it is. What will happen then is the seller will come back and say, I will fix X amount that you've asked for, I will give you a credit in lieu of these repairs, or I'm not going to fix anything at all and I hope that you still want to buy the house. Now there are things that are also going on in the background with your lender and title company. One being, if you have financing and are getting a mortgage, an appraisal will be ordered. This is to make sure that the house is worth what the bank or lender is lending on because the house is the collateral for said lender. If it doesn't appraise, it will go back to negotiations, and likely the buyer will have to cover that appraisal gap. So in the example of a $500,000 house, and the appraisal comes back at $475,000, now that buyer has to come up with an extra $25,000 on top of their closing costs and down payment in order to cover that appraisal gap. Finally, your loan will be approved and your lender will balance the transfers down to the penny. You'll do one last final walkthrough of the home to make sure that it's in similar condition to when you first walked it, and the title company will have you sign all the necessary documents in order for them to release your file to the county for them to record. Which leads us into our next step. Step 6, get the keys and celebrate. The home is officially yours. Congratulations, you made it all the way through the home buying process from start to finish. We hope that this was informational and educational and that you learned something through this. And we appreciate you sticking around and watching this video. If you have any comments, please post them in the comment section down below. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. My information is down below as well. Again, thank you so much. My name is Rhodes with Team CR Realty, where Arizona real estate is seen.